Prophet used to pray Eid, okay, this area, and that's why you have these masajid. How many of you have been to Istanbul or Turkey? Right? Doesn't it look like a Turkish masjid? Because it is a Turkish masjid. The Turks expanded this area. This is the largest Turkish expansion of this masjid. This is called Masjid al-Ghumama. Okay, the masjid that's covered by a rain cloud. We'll tell you what that means shortly. That masjid is called Masjid Abu Bakr. That masjid, you can barely see it. The white with the white minaret is called Masjid Ali. Behind this building is a masjid called Masjid Uthman, and behind that building is a masjid called Masjid Umar. Okay, that does not mean Abu Bakr prayed here, Uthman prayed there, Umar prayed there, and Ali prayed there. No, they're named after them as honorary names. But this area in general is where the Prophet ﷺ used to pray Eid and the Khulafa. Why? Because the Prophet ﷺ would have them pray outside of Masjid al-Nabawi and outside of Medina, right? Outside of the city limits of Medina, for them to pray Eid prayer. Why? Because the rough population of Medina was in the tens of thousands. Later on in the Sirah, and the early parts was about 10 to 12,000, right? So 10 to 12,000 can't fit in that small masjid. So guess what? They left the masjid and they came outside of Medina. Everybody look back. This is considered outside of Medina in the time of the Prophet. Literally 300 meters. You're outside of the city of Rasulullah. This place was an open place. That's why this remains as an open area. Right? So this place is the place where the Prophet, when he prayed Fajr, the Sahaba would gather from all, remember the different villages in Medina? They would come gather here. And they would all come here, and this is the place where they do the takbirat. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Lillahi alhamd. Imagine the Sahaba, they're doing the takbirat here in this exact location. Okay? This masjid is significant because this was the last place where the Prophet prayed Eid. Meaning his last Eid prayer was prayed here. Number one. Number two, the Prophet ﷺ one day was in the masjid when a man came in and he said, Ya Rasulullah, make dua. The Prophet said, why? He said that our crops are dying because of drought and our animals are dying because of drought, so make dua to Allah for rain. So the Prophet ﷺ announced to all of Medina for you to gather in the musalla. Why? Because the masjid is too small. So they gathered this place, and the Prophet ﷺ prayed a prayer called the rain prayer, where the Prophet ﷺ prays. It's just like Eid almost, and then the rain, and then the khutbah, the Prophet ﷺ raised his hands like this. It shows desperation. Okay, when he raised his hands like this, they said that while the Prophet ﷺ was making dua, we saw the rain clouds gathering over us. Rain. So one of them is called Ghumama, or small rain cloud, right? So that rain cloud gathered over them while the Prophet was making dua. And then he said, when the Prophet ﷺ said Ameen and he lowered his hands, it started to rain. And then the Prophet ﷺ used to point in the different directions of Medina from here, and the rain clouds would disperse from that location, from here. And that's why this place is called the Masjid of the Rain Cloud. Third, the Prophet ﷺ was commanded with a migration first to a land. What was that land? What was that land? Habasha, exactly. What's Habasha in English? Ethiopia, right? What do you say?
Abyssinia,
right. Abyssinia or Ethiopia. So they took safety under a Christian non-Muslim king who then accepted Islam later. What was his name? Najashi is his title. What's his name? Ashama. Okay, Ashama, that's his name. His name is Najashi, or Ashama, the Najashi, or the Negus, or the title of that king. They went there. That man accepted Islam. He eventually died in the life of the Prophet ﷺ, and he never saw the Prophet. He's not a companion. He's just the most righteous man who lived in the time of the Prophet, but is of the Tabi'een, the one who saw companions. When he passed away, the Prophet ﷺ wanted to show appreciation to him. So what did he do? He gathered the entire city of Medina in this location, and they prayed one prayer the Prophet only prayed once in his life, called prayer in absentia, Salat al-Ghaib. You pray on a person who's deceased, the funeral prayer, and their body's not there. Why? Because of their status. As you all know, like for example, what we did for our brothers and sisters in New Zealand, because of the difficulty that they went through, as well as for the brothers and sisters in Mali and so on and so forth. Even some of the scholars, by the way, and in the Hanbali Madhab in particular and others, they say that you should do Salat al-Ghaib every day. For the entire Ummah, there's people dying every day. So you should pray Salat al-Ghaib on behalf of the entire Ummah who are passing away. This is a valid opinion. In any case, the Prophet ﷺ prays Salat al-Ghaib here on behalf of showing respect to that man. There's also another event that took place here. This area was the place where the Sahaba that accepted Islam from Yemen, called the Ash'ariyin, they lived here in these areas. So the Prophet ﷺ said, I used to walk by their homes and stop and listen to the qira'ah of their Quran because they had beautiful voices. And he said, Iman is Yamani. Faith is Yemeni. And wisdom, hikmatu Yamaniya. And wisdom is Yemeni. What does that mean? We all dress up like Yemenis and have food and eat their food? No. What does it mean? The Yemenis were among the few people in the entire Arabian Peninsula that accepted Islam without coercion whatsoever. No one forced them, there was no war, there wasn't even a rejection. They came and accepted Islam out of their own love and will. And that is why the Prophet ﷺ said, true faith is like Yemenis. And true wisdom is like Yemenis. This is the wisdom behind this statement. And they had beautiful voices. And I want you just to imagine. One day Abu Musa al-Ash'ari, who was from that tribe, was a great companion. He said, we were with the Prophet ﷺ, and he said, you should have seen me when I was standing outside of your homes, listening to your Quran because of your beautiful voices. Abu Musa actually started to cry. Because the Prophet ﷺ was affected by the qira'ah of those people who happened here, in this location. And this teaches you something. Your Prophet cared so much about the community. He's not a man just sits in the masjid. He used to visit them. He used to take care of them. This is outside of Medina. But he used to check up on them at night. Who's hungry? Who's in need? What is their state? What are they doing? This is your Prophet, and this is where they lived, around this area. This area is also called the area of Bathan, and that has its own story. Lastly, we're going to go, inshallah, now towards the masjid.